All right, welcome to part 2 of Make a Lobster, you guys. We've just been working on just making a basic, super kind of high level, simple, not a lot of vertices lobster, and we've been hitting F10 or I'm sorry F12 as we go, just to have a rendering, just to see what it kind of looks like. Because it was like I was saying in video 1, and I'll throw one of those boxes up there in the upper left. Video 1 or upper right. Video 1, I was saying that it's good to keep your you want to make the shape right with as few vertices as possible. It's just easier that way. You want to like shape it to where you want with a few vertices, and then you can get detailed after that point, because you're gonna realize, this looks all wrong. I need to change this part and this part, and it's just better to do that when you have less vertices to work with. Anyway, so we just completed the tail. And we're going to start thinking about what we want to do next. We could flesh out the mouth. We're going to have to think about like antennae, but how do you do antennae without a lot of vertices? Because long spindle things are pretty vertex heavy, and I have a pretty good idea of what we want to do there. But first, I think I really want to keep it super simple. Right now it's going to be approaching 150 vertices already, because when we apply this mirror, it's going to double the vertices. And right down in our lower right, we're already using 38, but that's pretty good actually. It's pretty simple. I kind of want to collapse down a bunch of these, but I'm going to resist doing that for now. I think what we're going to work on next is the claws, because I feel like once we do the claws, it'll really start looking like a lobster. But one thing I just wanted to deal with first was kind of the shape of the lobster. Lobsters are more kind of like, they walk around and they kind of arch up their tail when they walk. In other words, there's like the middle segment, and then these ones, and all of these ones even need to be kind of pushed up, which is a little tricky. Maybe I'll just do these 3 rings of guys. So I think the C key might be best to select these vertices. In this case, so you hit your C button to get this like chunk, basically, and it should all light up like that. And then we're just going to do a G, Z, up. Yeah, that's exactly what so that's more lobster-like. But I almost wanted to rotate it, but I think now maybe that's fine. Maybe I'll just leave it like that. Maybe we'll push these ones up with it. Now let's look again. It's kind of looking like a whale. This one I think needs to be brought up. I'm not going to freak out about that too much right now. I think they're a little bit skinnier on the tum-tum side. So we're going to slide actually both of these up the Z-axis. Not a lot. Cool. They do seem to be bulkier here, but I think, I don't know, I think that's about right. We'll leave it for now. Let's see, the next thing I want to do is the head is too big, I think. The head section, that's about right. I don't know. That's about right. It's a little bit too big. We'll select all these ones, and we'll bring that back on the x-axis. Whoops. That should have been right. Oh no, I did z-axis, that's why. GX. I guess that's good. Alright, the claws are actually, they come out of, claws are like the first legs. They're like the arms. So they come out of like here. So we're going to extrude. We're going to extrude out the first arm, basically, right around meow. So that means we need to make this face more complex. So let me just think for a sec. Okay, so we're going to need it. This is, so how I do this is I tend to I want to subdivide these, but when I subdivide, I usually like to subdivide the edges above and below it and really around the whole thing. So it's like if I want to have a claw here, I'll add another ring here. But in this case, because I'm really trying to keep the vertex count just so ridiculously low, I think I'm not going to do that. We're going to try to hack it out. So subdivide, and the one below it we're going to do as well. And then we're going to go back to vertex mode. We're going to delete this face. Go into face mode, hit X, delete faces. I think the next thing I want to do, can we slide? Can we do an edge slide on this thing? Shift. No. So maybe if we connect them, we can. Shift, space 8. No, I don't think so. So I want to unconnect them actually. So I'm going to bring them down though. I wanted to follow the gradient, but it looks like I can't do that. So we're just going to do G, X, G. Probably is a way to do what I was trying to do. But I'm not sure it actually really matters that much to me. I noticed this pinched the head a little bit of the lobster over here, so I can fix that, but I don't know if I want to. I think I want to. Yeah, we'll fix it for now. So we do G, Y. I'm just pulling it out a little bit. Not sure what I want to do about that yet. Okay. So the lobster arms, I don't want to use too many vertices like I was saying before. So I think we're going to pull the arm out from here, which isn't exactly right, but I think it'll be good enough. So let's complete a face over here, and then with the F key, and then we're going to extrude this one. So we hit the E key, and then we drag the mouse in the direction we want to go. And yeah, see, it's not going to really work exactly like you want. So that's why I like to use the axes to do it. So you can do E, Y, and then you can do G, X. Makes it more kind of perfect. Okay, so one thing immediately off the bat, the lobster arm is flat. But we're hacking it, remember. We don't want to add another line of vertices right here, really. We could do that, but we really just don't want to. So we're just going to be pulling the next ones in. We're going to be scaling them on the Z-axis in. And then I think we're going to move them up. But I think that we need to align them first before we move them up. And they're not aligned. And I'm worried that if I align them, there's not enough room. So let's pull it out on the Y-axis again. And then we're going to do that trick I was talking about before. And that is the scale to 0 trick. I'm not sure if it's called something else. So we're going to scale to 0. S. Y. 0. It didn't work at all. Let's try again. S, scale on the Y-axis, 0. That kind of makes things crazy and not exactly what we want. Maybe that's wrong. No, it's right. We were right. I've never tried this before, but can you rotate a group of vertices? Oh, you can? Yeah, that's exactly what I wanted. That's awesome. And it was so intuitive. I just kind of just understood immediately what I had to do. This is really looking like a whale. I feel like we should squish him again on the z-axis. But I want to bring him out over here. So I think we're going to G... I think I'm going to rotate again. Whoops. So it's R, Z. And then we're going to G, Y. And then G, X. Whoops. What does Y do? I think Y does something bad. Oh, cool. Look at what it did, guys. So if you select a group of vertices and you hit Y... Oh, it's not doing it anymore. That's too bad. Remember, you don't want to have a bunch of vertices laying around. So I want to make sure there's not... Yeah, we're good. So, let's render it for a sec. Yes, it looks ridiculous. We need to collapse it down. Again. Oh, you know what? We'll bring it up. Ooh, I see what's really bothering me is that these two need to be more squished than the other two. That's one thing. I think we messed it up though. Now let's squish the other two a little bit now. And I think we'll move all four up. G, Z. So this is kind of a tricky thing I'm doing. It's starting to look righter. I'm just going to freewheel that one. And even flatter. Like I want it to be even more flat. And then up more. So from the top it looks like his arms are flat. But they're not actually. Except these vertices are really betraying us here. And this is where I would have had to add more vertices. But we're not going to do it. We're going to kind of want to keep as few as possible. For performance purposes, my game personally is just ridiculous. So it's already been 13 minutes. Oh my god. Alright, we gotta finish this. Alright, so the lobster arm, that's the first segment. The second segment gets real big, real fast. But I don't think we have enough room yet. So we're gonna extrude. I don't want to do this. We're gonna have to use another 4 vertices, unfortunately. Which I don't want to do. We're going to extrude more out to like there. Because they have these little bitsy arms and these gigantic claws, and it's funny. And I want to kind of exasperate that the humor behind that. So because we freewheeled it, it's looking a little bit ridiculous. We're going to bring it up, scale on the Z. But that's looking about right. And I think we can build our gigantic claws from that. I should pull these up. I'm just not satisfied with the situation down here. Maybe not that one. And pull all these up a little bit. That didn't work. Oh, I see what I did wrong. So you can't scale. You have to hit G to move them up. Whoops. GZ to constrict to the Z-axis. Yeah, that's looking a little better. Let's just look at it real quick. Alright, our lobster's coming along. The next thing we want to do, let's move these two back a little bit. I'm being a little bit too much of a perfectionist, I think, right now for the amount of vertices and the, what our goals here. So we're going to extrude out. This one's going to get big, though. So extrude. I think I'm going to extrude on the constricted to the x-axis, because that's the one I'm having trouble with. And this is going to be like we're going to have the claw in 3 parts. The first part contains the 2 pincers. So it's a big boy. So we got to bring that over here. We got to move this one back along the z-axis because we're turning now a little bit more back along the, I'm sorry, x-axis. This one, these are obviously going to be way bigger. You know what? We're going to have to add another set of vertices. I didn't want to do that. That's alright. The claws are tricky, but I think if the claws look good, the claws are, I think, really the thing, actually. Every time you make a model, you got to be like, what's the thing that people are going to really be looking at and judging? And I think for the lobster, it's the tail and the claws. And maybe, like, if we have some crazy whiskers, we'll get bonus points. And I have an idea about the whiskers to do them with not a lot of vertices. So we're going to see that in a minute. So we're going to extrude. We're going to scale away from the center. And then we're going to extrude again on the x-axis. And this is going to be the first of 2, because we have to turn. It's like, it'll make more sense in a minute. I want to G constricted to the y-axis. And then these ones will extrude another. And this one will be the final of the claw holder ones, if that makes sense. So we'll extrude. Ooh, I forgot. Extrude constricted to the x-axis. We're going to rotate along the z-axis. And we're going to G, Y. And we're going to G, X, I think. Then I'm going to pull these 2 only back. G, Y. Yeah, see what I'm saying? The claws make it. Just looking at the, let's render it. Just looking at the claws now, you can see it's a crustacean, not a whale. Alrighty. So these claw holders, does this look right? What am I doing wrong here? I think we're gonna, I really want to not add a lot of vertices. I want to add like an edge loop around the top here and pull it out to give it like a 3-dimensional, you know, what's the word? Like a, you know, like a roundness. Like a bulk. But I think it'd be better actually to leave the claws as flat, vertex-wise. That's something you can leave flat, you know. So the next, we're going to build another couple too, but I think I'm going to move these ones back a little bit like that, and then back a little bit like that. Alright, so the next ones are the pincers. So we're going to extrude just the 2 vertices this time along this, and then we're going to move them along the them along the x-axis, and G them along the y a little bit more too. And then we're going to extrude these, same deal, E, Y, to keep them constrained to the y-axis. And if you don't constrain, if you try it yourself and you don't constrain, maybe it works really well for you and then you should keep doing it. But you'll probably be like me and you'll be like, oh man, now I see why I need to constrain axes. And it doesn't actually take that long to work with the axes. It becomes second nature. G, Y. And then we gotta subdivide these ones. So I think I will run an edge loop down this one actually. So how exactly are we gonna do that? That means I'm going to have to delete the faces, I think. But that's no big deal. So you go to face mode, we're just going to delete this face, and bottom faces. Maybe you know what, we won't do the bottom. Nah, we'll do the bottom. So get to the bottom. Again, right, middle click, shift, middle click, middle click, shift, middle click. That's how I move around. and really have control over where I'm going. Alright, so we wanted to delete these faces, so select the face, X, delete face, select face, X, delete face. And that's looking good. We're not going to get three-dimensional with this one. Let's go back into vertex mode and pan out a little bit, get our camera right. It really counts to get your camera right, to be able to see. And at this point, we're going to connect these again, but then we're going to subdivide them. And shout out in comments what the quick key for that is, because I'm actually not sure. Now that we've subdivided, we need to subdivide this edge as well, and this edge below it. To give us more vertices to work with, just so we can chain them together here. That was the whole point of deleting the faces. Because the faces already exist. If we don't delete the faces, we can't create these new connections and vertices. I think I just messed up. Yes, I believe I did. So we're going to go edge mode, then we're going to subdivide the edge. There we go. Then we can connect these two and these two. And now we have our skeleton to be able to add some 3-dimension to it. And so we're going to do, so I could do them one at a time, but we could just save some time by doing them together. So we can scale, so instead of G up, like G-ing this one up and G-ing this one down, we can S them. We can scale them along the Z-axis away from each other. It's just another way to do it. And now we've added some kind of 3-dimensionality to the claw. And because I needed these two vertices in the first place to work with, and so it was just adding 2 more vertices to add a 3-dimension. Or I'm sorry, 1, 2, 3, 4, because both sides. Anyway, let's finish this up. I'm going to keep the claws sort of like, oops, that's wrong, the way they are. These ones connect to the top guy. So this is a super satisfying thing to do in Blender. If you don't add the faces and you build a lot of structures like this, you can then select them all and build all the faces at once. Sometimes it doesn't work, but let's try it. Select all faces. Nice, yeah, see? So the problem is, though, sometimes one of these faces might be inside out. I think one of them might be, actually. Something looks wrong. So we're going to not do it that way. Control Z. Control Z. So we're going to build our faces like this. The thing is, it's called the normals. So as you build faces, what you're going to find is that sometimes when you build a face, it's pointing in the wrong direction. And so when you go and you add a texture, it'll be all screwed up. And what I mean by add a texture is like when you go to paint this from the gray to being the red for a lobster, you'll find that there's a patch missing and you're like, what? And you can't figure out why. And it's because you've made the mistake of doing what I just said. There's a fix, though. You can flip the normals. Ah, man, I can't remember how to flip the normals off the top of my head. Let's try to do it real quick, though. You go into face mode. Face add. If what we do is right, you'll see these little arrows pointed out of the middle of the face, perpendicular to it. That's called the normal. That's when you have a line perfectly perpendicular to the center of a plane, kind of perfectly pointed up out of it, perpendicular to it. That's called the normal of a plane, and it's like an engineering thing. And engineering nerds know what I mean. And so do modeling nerds. Engineering nerds actually a lot of times are modeling nerds, because engineers model a lot. I can't figure it out. I don't know where the normals are. But it's appropriate right now to look at it. That's why. Shading. Control-Shift-N. I think I need to go into like the shading part. Not the modeling part. Oh god, no. Let's just try to Control-Shift-N just once, and if it works. Recalculating normals, so it's doing something. I just can't see. I forget how to see. But if you're interested in that, let me know in the comments. I'll make a whole video about flipping the normals, and it's gonna come into play as your. I can't even believe I remember about it, but it's because I suffered, so I had to learn. So you guys don't have to suffer. Let's take a look at the object again. So these claws look kind of ridiculous. It's okay, but it's just such. There's so few vertices that in that capacity, it's not bad. And that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to have very few vertices. But one thing we could do to make it look a little bit better is to bring these ones together. To make it look more like, you know, actual pincers. Let's just see what that looks like. Yeah, that looks better. Faux show. Another thing is I feel like the claws should be even more monstrous, or something's wrong. You know what I think's wrong is these two need to be moved inward along the Y and Z axis. Maybe a little bit too much. G, Y, G, X. See what that looks like. Yeah. Kinda. I think that they're too small is another thing. We want to puff them up and bring them out. So this is the point I was going into about don't add a lot of vertices, because you're gonna realize that you've done it all wrong, and you need to change a huge swath. Oh, ooh, we need to build this too. So I just want to add these faces before it's too late. Okay. Alright, so cool. So we've done the claws. That's actually, I want to say it's a good stopping point, but I want to finish. I want to finish with the making them the right dimension and stuff. But we're approaching that half-hour mark, y'all. So if you've enjoyed the video, this is the last thing we'll do in the video, I think. If you enjoyed the video, make sure you hit that like and subscribe. Throw in comments of some other, simple vertice models you want me to make. This is just a hobby of mine. I'm not like a modeler, but I'm more of like a coder, and because I'm trying to make a game, I need a bunch of models. So I just kind of learned how to model too, and it was super fun. I enjoyed it, and you might too. Let's move these ones back along the Y, back along the X, so that looks a little bit better. Let's move these two down, then just this one down. That's just too flat compared to the other, so we're going to move this one up. That's looking really good. Make sure you save. I don't think I've saved it all. Move these ones in, I think. Just tighten the lobster up a little bit. Let's look at it from the thing. Yeah. Yeah. I feel like they should be even back, even farther, and even bigger, the lobster claws. So before we end this video, that'll be the last thing we do. If you hit A twice, it'll deselect all of the vertices. So if you have like a bunch of vertices selected and you don't want to bother, just double tap A to deselect. So I'm just gonna scale this, I think, just on its own. And then I'm gonna, man, should I rotate them? Rotate along the x-axis. Yeah, that seems to have worked actually pretty well. I was worried about that. This right here is going to cause issues. Right here. There's like 5 or 6 of them. You know, that could flip a normal or something. But we're going to leave it. It might work out. I want to bring the tip is more up. Alright, let's see. That's looking good, and that's a good stopping point. The claws. So next video we're going to do the legs, and then we're going to do the whiskers, and that might be a wrap for the video. Actually, it might take half an hour. If it doesn't, we'll get a little bit more detailed and we'll tighten it up a little bit. But here's your like pixel lobster, and once you get good at this, you can get faster. And if you're not explaining it to people and you're just flying, this could take you, this could take you half an hour to do. And once you have the starting point, it's easier to go from the starting point to a finished, really good-looking end product that's professional, something that you can't even put in a game because it has too many vertices, like something that they'd want in a movie, something that's realistic looking. A lot of people will buy a skeleton, something like this off like Turbo Squid, or like there's a lot of modeling sites where you can upload a model to and buy them from. So you could even save time on a lobster yourself by buying something like this and then just going from there. So yeah, I'll leave it there, and we'll do the next. We'll leave it up video 3. So thanks for watching, guys. Make sure you like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.